you're moving from place to place, place. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, morning.
Good morning and welcome to Youth Wednesdays on the Tobago Updates Morning Show. You're viewing us live here in Portmore, Scarborough, Tobago, and yes, this is another Youth Wednesday where we'll bring the youthful vibe. I mean, we are dressed youthfully.
Of course.
We are young, we are vibrant, and you know, we just want to spruce up your week in the middle of the week, in the middle of the work week, to bring you that that youthfulness. A pleasant good morning to those who are viewing us on our viewing platforms, YouTube, YouTube 102, in Amplia, Facebook, and YouTube. My name is Dwayne Nurse, and I'm joined with
Natalia Nances. Good morning to everyone. Good morning to all of our viewers. I mean, it is early, but we are up and we are thankful. So good morning to all of you. Good morning to you, Dwayne.
Good morning, good morning. And we are on the couch this morning, so it's going to be very, very comfortable, very, very vibesy this morning. I mean, you look lovely in your top and thing.
Thank you so much. I love this new
Yeah, man, yeah, man.
Yes.
I bought this on Cotton On. That's our American brand. It's knitted. I really and truly love this. I have a black and white to it. I went to a specific place at a specific time last week with the black and look real good.
So next time you're going to shop, just remember me now.
Of course I can remember you. I
Thank you very
don't know
much.
what that means, but what has been happening in this space, Miss Nancy?
I don't know what have you seen?
We are 3 days away from Father's Day. That one time in the year where you fathers get the socks, vests, and boxers. I hope for many of you that would not be the whole lot. I hope that you get taken to breakfast. I hope that you'll get the trip. I hope that you will get the best gifts, the Louis Vuitton, the shoes, the phone.
Invictus?
Yeah.
You like those things? Invictus and these things? You have a special brand?
Yeah, they perfume. You know. So I mean, that's it for our banter this morning. We're gonna go over to news in 90 seconds with Miss Nancy.
News in 90 seconds is brought to you by Standards, never beaten on quality and prices.
Thank you, Dwayne. Here is your news in 90 seconds for Wednesday, 12th June 2024. Unity of the People's political leader Nkosi Phillips is questioning the funding for a new Tobago police force. With the THA budget expected by the end of June and Chief Secretary Fali Augustine announcing plans for a community-based police force within a new Department of Public Safety, Phillips is concerned about the financial impact on the already strained assembly and the current challenges faced by Tobago's police officers. Phillips criticized the Chief Secretary's plan and called the Ministry of National Security to urgently address the resource issues affecting Tobago's police. The Tobago Reforestation and Watershed Rehabilitation Program sought community input on a user policy and fee structure, proposing a management structure that includes fees for events, designated parking, and special lights for turtles at the Blackrock Heritage Park. Meanwhile, former Chief Secretary Kelvin Charles, speaking at the consultation for the Blackrock Heritage Park, presented an alternative development plan. The Blackrock Village Council, represented by Charles, offered a different vision, featuring historical information and community-led management. The Tobago Reforestation and Watershed Rehabilitation Program Board Chairman Dedan Daniel welcomed Charles' plans, and Conservator of Forest Darren Henry saw potential for merging both proposals. Kyle Campbell, a member of the Jarrick Titans Sports and Development Club, is also the Tobago Primary School's Cricketer of the Year and a student at Wim Anglican Primary School. Campbell, one of Tobago's upcoming cricketers, will have the honor today of being the only Tobagonian invited by the Minister of Sport and Community Development, Shamfa Cudjoe-Lewis, to walk out with the West Indies team for the anthem ceremony of the ICC Men's T20 World Cup, which features the West Indies and New Zealand at the Brian Lara Cricket Academy. And that was your news in 90 seconds.
Need a fresh start? Upgrade your life with the things you want. At Standard Distributors in Canaan, life is good with zero. Get that amazing fridge, the stylish sofa with zero down and easy financing. Your dream house is within reach. Visit Standard Distributors today. Life is good with zero.
All right. So welcome back to Youth Wednesdays again. For those who are viewing us, just joining us, we want to welcome you this morning. And a special good morning goes out to Kaylee Lewis and some of our ardent viewers. I just want to quickly shout you out before we'll go over to the birthdays. Good morning to you, Mr. Renrick Job, Terry Trinidad, Brianna. Good morning to you, and Brenda Campbell, and all of you viewing us this morning.
I'd just like to throw in before you stop on the shout outs. Good morning to Ingrid and Vera as well. They always have an encouraging note, always telling me that they're watching Tobago updates. So a special good morning to you too.
All right. So we're gonna go quickly over to our birthdays, and we have two special birthdays for you guys this morning. First, we have Mr. Mosiah Williams. Good morning and happy birthday goes out to you from the Tobago Updates family. Next, we have
Mr. Keyshawn Morton. Happy birthday to you, and from the Tobago Updates family, we wish you blessings and a very productive birthday.
All right. So, and those of you who are celebrating your birthdays today and didn't make it on our list this morning, we want to wish you a happy birthday, and I hope that your day gets even better as you celebrate this auspicious occasion. We're gonna go over to our rundown, and we have quite an interesting rundown for you guys this morning. First, we want to put men first this morning, and we're going to be discussing Men's Health Month benefits to going to the spa, and we're going to have none other than Delicia Boris. Next, we have the STEM Camp 2024, and we have Mr. Edison Thomas. And finally, primary school plenary debate. We have doing that interview, Miss Nancy's, and we have quite a lot of young people coming this morning to share with that, and a representative from the Assembly Legislature, Mr. Ajay Allen. So that is our rundown for you this morning. I hope you join us, and remember to share the live, share the live, share the live.
MI4 Security Services Company is the most advanced security service in Tobago. Ask about our cash and transit service. It's safe, risk-free, reliable, and timely. We provide safe banking delivery for all business types and sizes with highly trained staff, 24/7 monitoring, coordinated emergency response, and a well-maintained fleet of armored vehicles. Contact us at 660-7723 or visit our website at www.mi4securitytt.com to sign up today.
Tobago, the date has been set. Saturday, June 22nd, we head to the Jade Monkey once again for the launch of their 2024 Jufi and a mass band presentation for Tobago Carnival. On Saturday, June 22nd, we gather at the Jade Monkey to get a glimpse of the Jade Monkey mass presentation for 2024, the Tobago Festival, and also the launch of the Jade Monkey Jufi, Monkey See, Monkey Do.
I come from between islands.
Get ready for another year of Tobago Carnival with the best band in Tobago, Jade Monkey Mass and the Jade Monkey Jufi. So come out on June 22nd as we launch Monkey See, Monkey Do Jufi, and for Tobago Mass, the Tobago Festival's presentation, brought to you by the Jade Monkey. This one powered by Carib, Digicel, and Next 99.1 FM, a member of the TTT Limited Media Network. Jade Monkey.
Go down in the center, go down. I can't live without you, I can't be without you for too long. Cause when I'm around you, I feel like the heavens is coming down. I feel it in my soul every time we on the road, it's a miracle. A million strong come together.
Deltec Distributors Weekend Special Wings Friday. 3 pounds wings, 2.5 kilogram fries. Special 100 TT. Soup Saturday. 2 pounds cube beef, 2 pounds cow heel, 2 pounds chicken foot, 2 pounds pigtail, or smoke bone. Special $150. Super Sunday. 3 pounds leg and thigh chicken, 3 pounds sliced pork, 3 pounds lamb slice, 3 pounds cheese, 2 pack of pasta. Special $250. Located Main Road, Argyle, Tobago. We deliver 20 TT. Contact us on deltecdistributors.com 395-5040 or 237-0102. Deltec Distributors Weekend Special. Sun Up Tobago is here. Join us on Saturday, July 6th from 2 p.m. to 10 p.m. at Delta Compound Argyle for an unforgettable summer experience. Enjoy an all-inclusive experience with mouth-watering food, coolers are allowed, and best island vibe. This is a tickets-only event. Get your tickets now at Barcode, Lust, and Pablo's Argyle. Don't miss out on the event of the summer. Sun Up Tobago, sponsored by Tobago Updates, V-Mobile, State Solutions, and Thorns Place.
Look at people in here tonight.
Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place.
Good morning and welcome back to Youth Wednesdays on the Tobago Updates Morning Show. My name is Dwayne. You're viewing us here live here in Portmore, Scarborough, Tobago, and I must emphasize the Tobago. This morning we want to take it up a notch to our Royal Highness, His Royal Highness's Men Care. And to foster this discussion this morning, we're going to have Miss Delicia Boris, to join this discussion this morning. Good morning and welcome.
Hi, good morning. Thank you for having me here.
Of course, it's a pleasure. I mean, it's the first time I'm hearing about you.
Mm-hmm.
However, men care is quite an interesting topic. Is it only because we're on the cusp of Father's Day why this topic is so important?
No, not because it's only Father's Day, because as we celebrate Men's Health Month, it is crucial for men to come get pampered, self-care, as there is always put yourself in the back burner.
I'm glad you said it, but more on that later. Just tell us about yourself. Why are you here and your area of expertise?
So I am the proud owner and the CEO of Glorious Touch Health and Wellness Spa. I specialize with diabetic pedicures, massages, facials, waxing. I got into this when I had to take care of my late grandfather who was diabetic, and I fell in love with it. I love dealing with all type of fungal infections, corn, calluses, anything like that is my specialty. I love taking care of people.
That's really good. That's really good. So why is men's health important? I mean, you started it off by saying it. But just share some more about that.
So men's health is important because when men they don't pamper themselves, as I was stating previously, they don't take care of themselves as they put themselves in the back burner. They always want to, for example, I have clients who have bad callus and they would rather spend their $200 for a pedicure on their significant other, or they rather go and buy rounds of drinks for their friends, rather than taking care of themselves, and that is actually bad. So in other words,
men always take care of others
than themselves. Correct.
I'm glad you, as a woman, you are saying this because I don't hear this very often from a woman. Right. What is Men's Health Month? What is the theme of Men's Health Month this year, if there's a theme, and what is it really geared toward this year?
Geared toward is actually just pampering yourself. That's the theme, and making sure that you also use self-care awareness, because even if it's just physically, also mental as well. Especially even if it's spa related, remember, relaxation is a human need. So even if you go to the spa just for a massage, a facial, or even just for a foot restoration, as I just call it, because when you hear pedicures, a lot of men just run. So when you just go for that, you just want to come and relax. And men definitely need that.
You just mentioned a while ago that men run from certain types of care because, we have this male bravado about us, this ego about us that, see certain things as feminine or gender oriented. How have you, if I were to come at your spa, deal with me if I have that kind of stigma against those kind of self-care? How would you deal with me? Would you help me as a male to overcome this thing and say, well, you're just taking care of yourself?
So I just always explain to my male clients that first, you're coming to take care of yourself. Two, make sure your services don't sound as feminine. So my services, like for the manicure and pedicures, I just call it foot restoration or manly cures. So they'll feel more attractive to the type of services I offer. As well, start to explain the service and why it's so important for them to do it. It's like for the facials, also for the massages.
So men
the
does the
benefits.
facials too?
Yes, a lot of men does actually start to come for the facials.
Oh, okay.
Because also my 4 older brothers, I have one for sure that would not come to my spa for nothing, and it actually took me almost a year for him to finally fess up and say, all right, I'll come downstairs and let me come to your spa to do my foot. He told me, man, don't do foot. That was his words.
So you're telling me that it is okay for a man to get sore foot?
Yes, and it's good for your health.
So explain the health aspect of men care, because I don't think women understand the health benefits behind that.
So knowing that callousism due to constant friction, and especially the type of shoes you wear, when you do your feet, it has tremendous benefits, especially for a foot restoration. When you get to foot scrub, also remember you could be having a lot of fungal infection, you could have ingrown toenail. You'll see what's going on with your health of your feet, and also you're getting massages. That could also help with any nicks, with any problem with your muscles. And you start to feel confident with yourself. Imagine that if you had so much callus and issues with your nails, and you walk out brand new. The feel-good hormone endorphins, you're walking out like a brand new person, you feel better.
Right. All right. So where is your services located? Where can we find your services? I mean, what is the cost of these things? You know, we men, we try our very best to be prudent where spending is concerned. And you know that as a man, you know, the dollars have to make sense.
Yes.
So just walk us through again the different prices and the different packages you might offer, especially on the cusp of Father's Day.
So yes, foot restoration for men, I just normally charge $235. That is scrub, exfoliation, massage, nail treatments. I am also located at Mount Zion Wim. I also do house calls as an extra course. So if they can't come to me, I could go to them.
Right.
And that's it. Don't be afraid to come and pamper yourself. As kings, they deserve it.
Right. So what are your advice? What is your advice to, you know, the ladies and the mothers out there who, you know, from time to time would somewhat add stress, you know, to the man's life, you know? What advice would you give to them to help ensure that their men's health is quite optimal?
I will say, just be a listener. Don't try to nag them. That's not going to work, trust me. Listen to them. Try to work with them. I know, because I said I have 4 older siblings. Also, I understand for some, even for my sister-in-laws, you want to give them a lot of products to use on their face, their skin, they're not going to try. Sometimes they need to hear it from someone else. So include them to go to a spa. We could explain it to them, to try which products they will use it, and don't make noise with them, please. Give them time, let them get some time away to relax. They really do deserve it.
Yeah. One other important aspect of men's health that we men ourselves underestimate or undermine is hygiene.
Yes.
Right? Kind of tell us the linkages between taking men's health, and this spa that you're at, and how is it important to hygiene?
So a lot of men just do work home, and that's it, putting yourself second as usual. And some of them don't even know what type of product to use for their skin or their skin type. So even just going to the spa and knowing what is your skin type, what type of products to use, we can recommend stuff. So my recommendation, come to the spa regularly, know what to use. We can recommend stuff for your skin type. We are trained to do so.
All right. And again, your Facebook, well, your Instagram handle, your profile would highlight some of the things that you guys do. I'm hoping that they could pull up the Instagram page just to show the viewers what you offer and what the experience is like and what they would get when they come at your spa. But for those who are interested, just kindly rehash your different handles, your contact information, so that we could come at your spa and get some good Men K?
Yes. So I am on Facebook, Instagram, and on TikTok on Glorious Touch TT, GLORIOUS and my number is 477-3110.
All right. So my final question is relative to Father's Day. Are there any special Father's Day packages that we could look forward to? Should we be interested? I mean, I am already interested.
Yes, I do have a Father's Day special package up. It's advertising on Instagram and Facebook currently.
Right.
And there are spots, but it's going fast. So go on my Instagram and also contact me to book your appointment.
All right. Well, I guess the media is working against me this morning. I wanted them to pull up a page, but I guess they're being a bit recalcitrant. But it is what it is. But we're going to post your Facebook page, with your Instagram page and your Instagram handle and your contact information, with your permission, of course.
Yes.
For those who might be interested, we want to thank you for joining us this morning.
Thank you.
And is there any parting words for those lovely men, those royal highnesses, those kings, in commemoration of celebrating Men's Health Month?
That I will still say, pamper yourself as you depend on it. You work so hard. You need to pamper yourself, especially for this Father's Day or all out there. Please pamper yourself.
All right. So, viewers, that brings us to the end of this part of the interview. I want to thank Miss Delicia Boris for joining us this morning. And I hope you guys, men and women, treat your men to a good spa day at Miss Delicia's Spa. The information will be posted subsequently. And thank you again for joining us. Remember to share the life, share the life, share the life. Up next, we have Edison Thomas with STEM Camp 2024.
The countdown is on to the Tobago Public Service Day Expo 2024. Join us on July 5th at the Shore Park Complex to discover the dynamic world of public service where innovation meets dedication. Explore exciting careers, experience innovative services, enjoy interactive displays, and a whole lot more. Come join us on July 5th at the Shore Park Complex from 9:30 a.m. Visit the Office of the Chief Secretary's Facebook page for details. Tobago Public Service Day Expo 2024. Public service now and beyond.
Tobago, the date has been set. Saturday, June 22nd, we head to the Jade Monkey once again for the launch of their 2024 Jufi and Mass Band presentation for Tobago Carnival. On Saturday, June 22nd, we gather at the Jade Monkey to get a glimpse of the Jade Monkey Mass presentation for 2024, the Tobago Festival, and also the launch of the Jade Monkey Jufi, Monkey See, Monkey Do.
I come from the Twin Island.
Get ready for another year of Tobago Carnival with the best band in Tobago, Jade Monkey Mass and the Jade Monkey Jufi. So come out on June 22nd as we launch Monkey See, Monkey Do Jufi, and for Tobago Mass, the Tobago Festival's presentation, brought to you by the Jade Monkey. This one powered by Carib, Digicel, and Next 99.1 FM, a member of the TTT Limited Media Network. Jade Monkey.
Go down in the center, go down.
Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning. Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, morning.
Good morning and welcome back to Youth Wednesdays and Tobago Updates Morning Show. You're viewing us here live here in Portmore, Scarborough, Tobago. For those who don't know, my name is Dwayne again, and you're viewing us here on Tobago Updates Television, Youth Wednesdays. This morning, we want to take the discussion to STEM Camp 2024, and we have none other than our very own Mr. Edison Thomas. Good morning and welcome.
Good morning.
How does it feel to be the interviewee this morning?
Well, on many different capacities, I had to come and switch tables. So I don't mind it. It's fun to actually answer the questions from for a change.
Yeah, I mean, I know Tobago Update is a very big establishment, and this is actually the first time I'm meeting Mr. Edison in person.
Nice to meet you.
Pleasure is all mine. Just tell us about yourself and why you're here.
All right. Well, as Candice does say, sometimes Edison is wearing many hats. So, in addition to being one of the hosts of the show, the 40-hour show, I also serve as the marketing specialist for Tobago Information Technology Limited. All right, and so I'm here this morning in that capacity, wearing that hat. All right, so I'm here today to talk about STEM 2024. And for those who don't know what STEM is or what STEM stands for, it's not the part of the plant. I mean, we recently did a school tour and we asked the kids, what STEM stands for? What do you think STEM stands for? It says, so it's a part of a plant. No, it's not part of a plant. Well, we're not referring to the part of the plant. STEM stands for science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. All right. And so we, well, I'm here to talk about the STEM camp that TITL is going to be hosting within the next 2 months. Or so.
Understood. So, I mean, we have all these subject areas in schools already. Why is this so important? I mean, are you guys being redundant? What is the need for having such a program if you already have these in our schools? Viewers, I just want to take a quick break and come right back. Just remember to share the live. We'll be right back.
I can't live without you, I can't be without you for too long. Cause when I'm around you, I feel like the heavens is coming down. I feel it in my soul every time we on the road, it's a miracle.
Deltec Distributors Weekend Special Wings Friday. 3 pounds wings, 2.5 kilogram fries. Special 100 TT Soup Saturday. 2 pounds cube beef, 2 pounds cow heel, 2 pounds chicken foot, 2 pounds pigtail, or smoke bone. Special $150. Super Sunday. 3 pounds leg and thigh chicken, 3 pounds sliced pork, 3 pounds lamb slice, 3 pounds cheese, 2 pack of pasta. Special $250. Located Main Road, Argyle, Tobago. We deliver 20 TT. Contact us on deltecdistributors.com 395-5040 or 237-0102. Deltec Distributors Weekend Special.
Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, good morning.
All right, we're going to welcome back to Youth Wednesdays. My name is Dwayne. We're going to continue the discussion with Mr. Edison Thomas relative to STEM Camp 2022. We were saying earlier before the break that you were explaining whether or not this program, being that we already have these subject areas in schools, if it's redundant and what is the purpose of it?
Okay. All right. So STEM 2024 was really, well, the whole concept of STEM Camp was really birthed to expose these students to a less academic side of the areas that are really specified. All right, so it's more practical than anything else. So they're going to be doing a lot of practical application that goes towards the real world, or to help advance them or give them an understanding of how it works in the real world.
Right.
So we know generally when you go to school, a lot of a bulk of the material that you go through in those areas are mainly theoretical. Some of it is not necessarily useful or practical.
Right.
All right. So the whole program is really tailored for the practical aspect of it. All right. Exposing the children not only to something, screens or whatever the case may be, in theory, but we're actually giving them hands-on ways on how to do things, right? And so those modules we started off, when we started off was mainly stuff like coding and animation and
really?
Yeah. So
and what year did this
we started off in 2018.
2018.
Yeah, so 2018 was the first one. We had like a lull during COVID because you know, but we recently picked it back up last year. All right, so I would want to believe this would be the 4th year that we're doing it. All right, and this year we're doing it bigger and better than any year that we ever did it before. We're looking at currently 150 participants over 2 months.
Okay.
Right, and it's 2 3-week cycles. Right, 2 3-week cycles. I want to believe the first cycle starts on July 8th and finish July 26th, and the second cycle starts on July 29th and finish on August 16th.
Okay.
Right, so anyone which is more convenient for the participant, they could join anyone.
Right, and what is your target range in terms of age groups? Are you targeting preschools, primary schools, high schools?
Right. So 7 to 17.
Okay.
Right. So we found that the material that we want to teach, right, is really
within that age group.
Within that age range, we want the children to be old enough to be able to grasp and understand, and they need to have that attention span as well.
Understand.
Because it's that classroom setting really. So 7 to 17, we have 2 age groups though. So the age group split into 12 to 17, I think 7 to 12.
Yeah.
Right, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. Right. The modules though, the modules are from what I'm seeing that they're planning. Last year, as I said before, we had animation, robotics, we had coding as well.
And you know, it's interesting that you guys would have introduced this because this is reminding me of those science fairs that we used to have.
Yes.
And you know, it's so interesting that you guys are advancing with the times in that you're in the modules for which you're going to be exposing the students to are in keeping with what is occurring. So 3D printing, virtual reality. I'm not saying artificial intelligence, but I guess it might be touched on.
Yeah, it will be touched on.
Yes, inside here. Home automations, which is a big thing, a big market. It's really good. My question is, what is the objective of having STEM? Is it merely to just expose students because I mean we have the theoretical part in our schools, but we are more academic society. We don't have as many innovators, especially on the island, right? If they have to innovate and have that environment to innovate and be like the next Steve Jobs, they have to migrate.
Right.
What is the objective in light of all of that with this program?
Mainly it's to spur innovation. It's to spur innovation. And I like how you said we're exposing the kids to what takes place necessarily now, in the now, right? We, out of this camp, we are planning to have a STEM academy. Right? And the STEM academy really would be a innovation hub for the youths to be able to come together, share ideas, develop ideas as well. All right? So not necessarily that they would need to migrate to go to Trinidad or whatever the case may be. I mean, they could follow whatever path they want to be on. But to give them a proper foundation right here in Tobago without having to travel to get it, right? There is no program right now in Tobago exposing children to 3D printing. No program that exposes them to coding on the level that we do.
And might I even dare say that, I mean, we are a service economy.
Yes.
Right, Tobago is a service economy in a sense. It's tourism-led, right? And what I am hoping to see is that even if we may not have this mass industrialized Tobago, that through our businesses and through the services we offer, these things could be evident.
Correct.
You know, and I believe that this is the one of the objectives of having this program,
Yes.
which is quite noble.
Yes.
What are the costs attached? How do we get in touch? We already mentioned the age groups, but where can persons so interested sign up and be a part of this program?
All right, so pay attention because the spots are very limited and they're almost full to capacity. So parents, please jump at this opportunity. We don't want that anybody come last minute and we can't accommodate. We still have probably about a little bit over 3 weeks before the first cycle. All right, so please. All right, so the cost is only $1,000 for the 3-week cycle. All right, there's payment plans that you can get into. There's still time you could pay that off before we start the camp. All right, registration, you could either call 211. Right, they'll be able to register you over the phone, and it's a toll-free number, or you can visit www.titl.tt/STEM. All right, and you can register online with that link. Okay, but only $1,000 3-week period. The time is starting from 9 to 3 p.m. daily. All right, so it's a full day over the 3-week period.
All right. Unfortunately, this brings us to the end of this interview. Mr. Thomas, thank you for joining us this morning.
All right, thanks for squeezing me in.
Of course. We didn't squeeze you in. We made a special spot for you.
Oh, yeah. Yes.
So the pleasure was all mine. Guys, for those who are so interested, the flyer will be posted on our Facebook page. Thank you for joining us this morning. And remember to share the life, share the life, share the life.
Sun Up Tobago is here. Join us on Saturday, July 6th from 2 p.m. to 10 p.m. at Delta Compound Argyle for an unforgettable summer experience. Enjoy an all-inclusive experience with mouth-watering food, coolers are allowed, and best island vibe. This is a tickets-only event. Get your tickets now at Barco, Lus, and Pablo's Argyle. Don't miss out on the event of the summer. Sun Up Tobago, sponsored by Tobago Updates, V-Mobile, State Solutions, and Thorns Place.
Look at people in here tonight. No place like home, home, home.
Oh, I love Tobago, baby.
When we outside, it's an ocean of love. All that we align to the stars up above. Let we dance now, take a chance now with me. And we go jump till morning. Look, the moon gone sleeping. Tell them we not leaving till the last drop of bacchanal is madness in the capital. So I feel like I'm running tongue again. Jump and shake the ground again. Wave with all my friends and them. No place like home, home,
Need a fresh start? Upgrade your life with the things you want At Standard Distributors in Canaan, life is good with zero. Get that amazing fridge, the stylish sofa with zero down and easy financing. Your dream house is within reach. Visit Standard Distributors today. Life is good with zero.
This is how it's gonna go. They better look up below, 'cause this is your show, and everybody's gonna know. Say it to them once again. They better look up below. This is your show, and everybody's gonna know. That's how it's gonna go. They better look up below, 'cause this is your show.
Tobago Glass Supplies has been a leading name for over 37 years in the glass and aluminum market in Tobago. We provide an extensive range of high-quality, innovative aluminum and glass products for commercial and residential use. Competitive prices with superior and professional services by committed employees who are guided by rigid quality standards. Tobago Glass Supplies specializes in the manufacture and installation of glass and aluminum products that are essential to today's homeowners and the business environment. We are engaged in marketing, sales, and installation of a variety of products. These ranges from windows and doors to necessities such as mirrors for homes and vehicles, designed and manufactured in-house or imported.
Rotisserie, mouth-watering fries, salads, combos, and specials galore. Feeling for something to eat? Come and see. Our rotisserie is seasoned to the T. Kicking chicken, masala, and jerk roast. Crispy fries made from scratch. Who do you know can't beat that? Or salads freshly cut and packed. When you taste it, you'll be wanting to come back. So come check us out on number 2 Robinson Street, Uptown Scarborough, Tobago. We open on Saturday nights from 7:30 to 11:30 p.m. Monday to Thursday, we're open from 10 a.m. to 9:30 p.m. and on Friday, 10 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. Contact us at 772-7443 and all social media handles at The Rotisserie Factory.
Welcome to Standard, and today we're launching High. It's our newest brand that Standard is launching, and it's where luxury meets affordability. We're very proud of this brand. It's taken some time to get the right collection in place, and we're also going to continue to improve on our collection as time goes by and we listen to our customers more. We've changed our suppliers for this collection to European suppliers, so you're going to get that European finish. We've been very pleased by some of the results that we've been seeing in terms and response to it in the market, and we're so glad to bring it to Tobago and show Tobago what Standard could, grow with them as well.
It's not just about looking good or having materials that are easily cleaned or sustainable materials, because the important thing about this particular collection is that it is quality. It is meant to last, and it lives up to the Standard name about never beating on quality and price. This furniture particularly, especially our outdoor line, which ranges from fiberglass, plastic types of outdoor stools, outdoor chairs, even the outdoor furniture, it is built to last.
That's the importance with High, right? It's not only looking good, it's going.
It's a different type of thing down there. And we party till we drop down there. With a lot of pretty girls down there. Down in Tobago.
Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place.
Good morning, and we are back here on Youth Wednesdays on Tobago Updates. It's a little to 8 o'clock, so I am expecting that everyone is on their way to work so that they'll be on time, right? I bid you a safe travel. I bid you a safe day, a productive day. So today at this point, we are on Youth Wednesdays, and we have a plethora of youth this morning here to talk to us a little bit about the primary plenary debate experience, right? And they're very excited, very comfortable, I should say. So we're going to hear a little bit from them. So before we start, I'd like everybody to introduce themselves and tell me what school you represent.
Hi, I'm Dando George, and I represent the Laford Anglican Primary School.
I am Sienna Ruption, and I am representing Roxborough Anglican Primary.
I am Eleni Woods, and I am representing the Monk St. George Methodist Primary School.
I am Liam Wheeler, representing Tobago International Academy.
I am Zion George, representing the St. Michael's Anglican Primary School.
I am Weston Paul, representing Hope Anglican Primary School.
And we have, last but not least, not in uniform, but a young man, of course. He was ready and excited to tell us about the debate. You can go ahead.
I am Ajay Allen, and I am one of the debating facilitators.
All right, so good morning to you all.
Good morning.
Right, I realized that you all got up very early to be here this morning. I want to commend them. They were on time and they were very much ready for their interview. So before we get into how your experience was in the debate, I'll ask Mr. Allen to just brief us on what the debate was about and what sparked what brought you to planning a debate for primary school children.
Okay, so this is really the brainchild of Presiding Officer Abby Taylor.
Okay.
So we usually have special debates at the house, International Women's Day, Seniors, Tobago Day. So what we were instructed to do was to take a step down. So we wanted to have the young persons involved in the system. So this is basically the culmination of a 3-part series. So firstly, we began with a primary school tour, 41 plus schools across Tobago. Then we had them in training. So they came into the chamber, we did some virtual, we did some in person, so they were able to learn the proceedings of the house, see what a procedural brief looks like, see how questions are asked in the house and so on. And then the culmination was the actual debate that we held last week, Thursday, where the students actually was able to express their views on the matter. It's very entertaining, should I mention. And they just had a show for themselves, and we really enjoyed it, and we want to continue to encourage that type of young involvement in the democratic process.
All right, and I do commend you. This is a very good initiative. They seemed very interested, especially in the topic that you all gave them. So I'm asking you to just kindly tell the audience what the topic was.
Okay, so what we have embarked on now is every public or special sitting that we do, we usually have a survey after. So we'll usually ask members of the public, what do you want to hear debated in the house? So following the International Women's Day debate in March, the topic of SEA was dropped into that pool. So when we decided we were going with primary schools, we saw it fitting to use the SEA. So they debated establishing a committee to examine the effects of the SEA and to also consider adding the Montessori method to the curriculum in Tobago.
Okay, all right. So these children, they were very, very excited. When I tell you very excited to share their views on this topic, right? So firstly, let me ask you all, how was the experience?
It was exciting.
It was exciting.
Exceptional.
Exceptional.
Chilling.
Thrilling. Oh, I thought you said chilling, sorry.
Educational.
Educational.
It was exciting and joyful.
Joyful.
Interesting and exciting.
Okay, so you see, very exciting. Okay, so tell me, who was for, who was against?
I was for.
I was for.
I was against, but supporting both sides.
All right.
Just 50-50.
50-50. Right.
Kind of like that.
Okay. What were you for?
Against.
Against.
I was against, but for on the same time.
Oh, God.
Did you really have to say
I was
that?
for.
All right. To give you all some insight onto what they were for and against, they were either for the removal of the C examination or against it. Of course, they had their own personal views, but they did a very good job on the team that they were representing, and that was for and against. So I'll ask some of the for ones, the ones who represented the for in the debate, just to share some of your points as to why you think the C exam should be removed.
It causes so much stress on students' mental and physical health.
Wow. It does?
Yes, it does.
So what would you substitute the C exam for? What would you put in place of C exam?
Like, at the end of each academic year, we normally have the end of term test.
Okay.
We use that end of term test, to grade them, and we just use that to send them to high school.
When you really look at it, it's
Am
not
I the one
same.
sparking a debate here this morning? So I'm okay. Seeing that you shared yours against, could you tell me some of your points onto why we should not remove the C exam?
It's because it costs a lot of money.
It costs a lot of money.
You have to bring in the Montessori method.
Okay, so you are for the C exam?
Yes, yes.
Okay, right. Mr. Allen, after hearing the views of the students, are you all considering some of what they had to say, in terms of introducing the Montessori method or staying to the C examination?
Okay, so one of the things we wanted basically was just to give them a listening ear and to allow them to understand that their views are critical for the development of the island. And the Chief Secretary spoke to some of their suggestions, which we must applaud him for. And the Secretary of Education took copious notes. I remember listening to her statement following the actual activity. And she shared a lot of the points that the students brought up that are currently being considered by the division. And hopefully we see it being spread nationally as well, because we have received a lot of phone calls from our colleagues nationally. They listened to these young people, and yes, they were articulate and they were clear, but a lot of the educational stakeholders were keen on what they had was to say, and they're actually considering it a lot now. So we're just hoping that this goes beyond the action and we actually see it being implemented.
All right. So you are right. A lot of people have mentioned before that their views on the examination. They're saying that after so much schooling, they really focus on this exam in standard 4, standard 5, right? After that long process, they have this one exam that they'll have to do before entering high school. So they were saying that it is a bit stressful on the students. So a lot of parents are actually for the removal, I would say. But of course, there are some who would be against. So it was nice to hear from the youths themselves as to why they would be for or against the examination. So could you all tell me if you would be interested in joining the THA after sitting in?
Yes.
Yes,
because it has a lot of attention to it too. And also, you get to sit down in a nice seat and then good AC so you wouldn't get hot or anything.
Anybody else?
I would want to join the THA when I get older because a person like me, I like to argue and debate with others.
Yeah.
So it would be a good thing for me to join the THA in my opinion.
Okay, so in light of this, what position would you like to be in the THA? Should you join?
Chief Secretary.
Wow. You did represent Mr. Augustine, Secretary of Education, so that's Miss Hackett. That is Miss Hackett. Anybody else? You don't know, you just want to go in and argue.
Yeah.
She just wants to go in and argue. Miss B as well?
Yeah, she could be.
All right, so Mr. Allen, do you see this debate continuing on annually, or do you think this is just a one-time thing?
No, most certainly. After round one, we can't stop here.
Of course not.
So we are actually considering doing it because we weren't able to cover all the schools on the island. So we only were able to pull just the first set. So we are considering going into our next batch, hopefully before the year is out. But we have to look at the legislative calendar for the year because we have a number of activities and basically we're just going from one event into the next. So in order to ensure quality, we would just have to take some time and reconsider how are we going to roll it out again. But we're asking members of the public as well too. We do have an online survey currently. So once you would have viewed the debate, whether it's live or after, to kindly complete the survey so we can also ensure quality. And we want you to have yours here as well. The People's House is your house. We want you, members of the public from all ages, to have your say and your share on what happens at Assembly Legislature.
All right, so thank you so much, Mr. Allen. Thank you to your young people who I hope to see in the THA later on. Please remember my face just in case I need a favor. Thank you very much. So before we go, I'll allow our young people, each one of you all, to shout out somebody who helped you all along the way. Mommy, daddy, sister, brother, nana, and anybody. So I will start with Mr. Delaford over here. Very vocal, you all, very vocal. I'll start with Mr. Delaford over here.
My grandmother.
You like to big up your granny?
Yes, she's the one that didn't help me. She was home looking up on the laptop even though it was giving trouble. She just writing down.
Yes.
And it took a lot of time. And she sleep later than she's supposed to.
Okay. So Granny gave that extra time to helping you prepare for the debate.
Yeah.
So big up Mr. George's granny, right? Big up you. Miss Sienna, your mother. Yes, tell me how did she help you for this debate?
She researched almost everything for me.
Almost everything?
Yes.
So, okay.
I do some of the research, but she do majority.
She did the majority.
Yeah.
Big up Sienna's mommy. She's smiling in the background, by the way, you all. All right, Miss Elaine.
My older sister and mother, they helped me with the research and also helped to structure my speech, especially on the ending part. My mother really put in the extra work to put what was inside of my conclusion.
Oh, that's very nice to hear. This is Liam, right? Liam.
Why is this emotional?
So the only person I would like to tell you all that helped me a lot was my mom.
Okay.
She was a great guidance. She searched up stuff. She was almost like she was debating as well. But she just gave me the perfect advice and led me through the entire debate.
So big up Liam's mommy.
My mother.
Your mother. What would you like to
She helped
say?
me to structure my speech, get the tone, and to talk about schools don't have toilet paper, water problems, and if they're really willing to put in the money. So I want to thank her for all that she has done for me.
All right, so she helped you with a lot of the points for the debate. All right.
My mother and my father.
Okay.
Because my mother helped me, make the speech and to help me fit it into 4 minutes. And my father helped me tirelessly practice that speech until it was showtime.
Okay. All right. So big up all the parents of these children. You all are helping a great nation to be formed. These children are, yes, they're at the primary school level and they're now being introduced into what the THA has to offer. But hopefully later on, they are willing to be a part of the THA. Yes? Yeah. Right. And Mr. Allen, anybody you'd like to shout out? I mean, I know you're not in uniform, but anybody you'd like to shout out?
Let me say firstly, much thanks to Presiding Officer Abby Taylor for inviting me to be on the team and to execute this project. Let me also say thanks to Assemblyman Joel Sampson as well for giving me the time off to work with the students, a part of my daily job. And I mean, Tobago on a whole, guys, just get on board, let's support these young people.
Yes.
I mean, continue to reach out to Assembly Legislature because this is not an easy process. It's not a cheap process as well. So if you want to contribute financially, you can reach out. Whether it be donating items, give food, because we can't have the children training and not feeding them.
Yes.
So, contribute whatever way possible, and this is just the start for us.
Yes. And I must say it's a very great start on the shout-out agenda that we are on right now. I'll just like to shout out to Tobago Updates team who streamed this debate for you all, right? So if you all want to see yourselves again, I know you all were very excited when you all were seeing yourselves rolling on the camera. You all can look up Tobago Updates and you'll see the live once again, right? So to our viewers, thank you so much for joining us. To our students who got up very early, even on the bread and butter that you ate this morning. Thank you so much for joining us, Mr. Allen. Always a pleasure, right? Thank you so much, and I hope to see you all later on in the future doing a lot of things for your government and for your island, and of course nationally for your country, right? Thank you once again, viewers. Thank you, students. Thank you, Mr. Allen. I'd like to big up someone before we close off our show. I always want to big up things, right? So hold on, let me get that person. He's been away from the tennis arena for a while, but I'd like to big up Mr. Elijah Leslie. He made an impressive return to local competition when the national tennis champions served off Monday night at the National Racket Center. So we want to big you up. He actually won, right, playing in his first match here in around 5 years. The 20-year-old trounced Sebastian Sylvester 6-0, 6-1 to reach the last 32 in the men's singles draw. So, Mr. Leslie, as you have returned, I big you up and I encourage more success in the future. Continue to represent Trinidad and Tobago. Right, so viewers, once again, thank you. And we continue on this morning with Good Morning Tobago. So, in light of this, I encourage you to share the live, share the live, share the live.
The target audience for this seminar would have been agro-processors, persons involved in whether it's seasoning, production and so on, as well as natural resource-based enterprises. So whether it was farmers that are would be producing growing products that would lend themselves to product development. Right, so we're bringing those partners together so that they'll be able to get the information that is required to produce a quality product. This is an opportunity to understand where they fit in the value chain and what the supply chain requires so that they will better be able to build their product, to be able to access these markets better, whether it's the tourism market or the export market, by tapping into resources that are available from these different support agencies, and of course from perhaps the farmers and so on, so that their product would be of a better quality to increase their competitiveness on the export market.
Ready to export means that there's no double standards. It's one standard. So if you need to be able to get to the export market, you start the business right. And the right parts are, if you can access an export market in terms of all of the requirements, safety, quality, everything, if you can access a market outside, it means that you are ready to sell locally, and it means that you can build your ability to meet the export market. It is not easy as a small producer to get onto the export market because you have large and big brands. But one of the sessions we had yesterday spoke about very small to small trade categories. And we know agri-SMEs are very small. So it means that there is an opportunity for them to export under the very small to small trade category. But it also means that they have to meet some basic standards. And that is a message today. Once you meet those standards, whether you're small or very small, there is a space for you on the export market.
I think a lot of people are just kind of focused on the local market, but showing them the possibilities of exporting and what it takes to actually export is a great eye-opener. This session is really great in terms of informing us about the options available for financing, informing us about information that will take us to the next level, and how to make our businesses sustainable.
One of the areas which I think is very important moving forward for farmers and processors is the session on the green value chain, led by the Cropper Foundation, and how businesses can be a bit more sustainable in our processes, from both ends, producers and agro-processors. So that particular area, I think that we need to hear a lot more of, especially in the Tobago space, where we are about preserving our natural environment.
Really and truly, I have not regretted coming to have it done because it was quite informative in that stuff that we can access. It's a networking where we can meet the different farmers and what they offer and be able to get our byproducts.
That
Report was a production of the Department of Information, Office of the Chief Secretary, Tobago House of Assembly.
It's only when I go abroad and I see what is out there and I come back and I measure against what is here. There is no comparison to beauty.
Some writings of our history, it is said that Christopher Columbus called it Bella Fauna, meaning beautifully formed.
Natural, beautiful, peaceful. Yes, I get emotional. That's why I'm here.
One of the fascinating things about nature, there is always something new, and especially in the tropics where there's such wide diversity, persons can experience and have the awe associated with some of the beaches we have, aquatic life we have, some of the fascinating birds we have within a day, within a short period of time.
You have the Caribbean Sea on one side, you have the Atlantic Ocean on the other side. On our doorstep, a fringe reef that wraps around the entire area. You have this huge amount of biodiversity and liveliness of the entire water that surrounds the island. We also do bioluminescent nighttime tours, which are like an escape into the deep, dark secrets of this, glowing phenomenon. It's like this almost cosmic effect. It's just something to be seen.
I know everybody in the village, and everybody know me. That is the nice thing about here.
Tobago is used to the extended family. There was always a grandmother, aunt, uncle. There was always love.
We eat and we drink, we laugh, and everything together.
Tobago, in one word to me, beautiful. Beautiful place to live. It gives me great pleasure to be in Tobago and do what I do.
The sunsets here are probably bar none some of the nicest I've seen.
I would describe Tobago of one of the clean, serene, and the best place that anyone could come. Be easy, be happy, and have a good time. There is nothing to compare to.
This little dot called Tobago exists, and come visit.
Tobago Glass Supplies has been a leading name for over 37 years in the glass and aluminum market in Tobago. We provide an extensive range of high-quality, innovative aluminum and glass products for commercial and residential use. Competitive prices with superior and professional services by committed employees who are guided by rigid quality standards. Tobago Glass Supplies specializes in the manufacture and installation of glass and aluminum products that are essential to today's homeowners and the business environment. We are engaged in marketing, sales, and installation of a variety of products. These ranges from windows and doors to necessities such as mirrors for homes and vehicles, designed and manufactured in-house or imported.
morning and welcome to Good Morning Tobago right here on Tobago Updates. I am Chanel Felix, and when you see me sitting here, you know it's because we're about to have while I ask those questions you want asked. But before we get into this morning's conversations, let's have our news in 90 seconds.
News in 90 seconds is brought to you by Standards, never beaten on quality and prices.
Unity of the People political leader Nkosi Phillips is questioning the funding for a new Tobago police force. With the THA budget expected to end at the end of June, Chief Secretary Farley Augustine announcing plans for a community-based police force within a new Department of Public Safety. Phillips is concerned about the financial impact on the already strained assembly and the current challenges faced by Tobago police officers. Phillips criticized Chief Secretary's plans and called on the Ministry of National Security to urgently address the resource issues affecting Tobago's police. Additionally, the Tobago Reforestation and Watershed Rehabilitation Program sought community input on a user policy and fee structure, proposing a management structure that includes fees for events, designated parking, and special lights for turtles at the Black Rock Heritage Park. Meanwhile, former Chief Secretary Kelvin Charles, speaking at the consultation for the Black Rock Heritage Park, presented an alternative development plan. The Black Rock Village Council, represented by Charles, offered a different vision featuring historical information and community-led management. The Tobago Reforestation and Watershed Rehabilitation Program Board Chair Didan Daniel welcomed Charles's plan, and Conservator of Forestries Darren Henry saw potential for merging both policies. And finally, Keel Campbell, a member of the Jarrick Titan Sports and Development Club, is also in the Tobago Primary School's Cricketers of the Year and student at Wilm Anglican School. Campbell, one of Tobago's upcoming cricketers, will have the honor today of being the only Tobagonian visited by the Ministry of Sports and Community Development, Shamfa Joe Lewis, to walk out with the West Indies team for the anthem ceremony at the ICC Men's T20 World Cup, which features the West Indies and New Zealand at the Brian Lara Cricket Academy. And that was our news in 90 seconds.
Need a fresh start? Upgrade your life with the things you want. At Standard Distributors in Canaan, life is good with zero. Get that amazing fridge, the stylish sofa with zero down and easy financing. Your dream house is within reach. Visit Standard Distributors today. Life is good with zero.
Good morning, and welcome back to Good Morning Tobago. This morning's conversation, we're talking about the water supply on the island of Tobago. Now, we know water supply is not only an issue here in Tobago, but a national issue, a regional issue by that account. This morning, as we have that conversation, I have the privilege and the pleasure of speaking with Mr. Brian Williams, who is the head of the Tobago region of WASA. Good morning, Mr. Williams.
Morning, Ms. Felix.
Oh, welcome to Tobago Updates. You know, you are no stranger to the set here, so we are happy to have you. Now, a lot of persons have been seeing, complaining, and feeling the pain of the water shortage issue here in Tobago. Now, from my own investigation, I realized that the water supply issue is one that we face throughout the region. So give us a little bit of background information on why this part of the world faces such an issue when it comes to water supply.
All right. Morning, Ms. Felix. Morning to Tobago, Trinidad and Tobago, and the wider world, because we live all over the world. Thank you for having me, first and foremost. The challenges that we face in this moment as Tobagonians, as Trinbagonians, is not localized, and the blame has been put very squarely on the shoulders of the changing climatic conditions associated with the global warming. At this point, we are coming to the end of the dry season. I would have loved to come here this morning and say that the dry season is officially ended. But there still are challenges, and it has been a very harsh dry season. The flows in rivers have, reduced by as much as 80%. Courland Water Treatment Plant does 8,000, 7,500, 8,000 cubic meters a day. It has been doing 1,500 cubic meters. It has been reduced to a stream in this moment. Notwithstanding, as an organization, we have a responsibility to deliver the service within the confines of quality, flows and pressures. It has the harshest of the dry season, which is global, regional, and as for the context, for the purposes of this discussion, local, they have put us in a very precarious position. In the past, we have, and even for this dry season that we are now facing, we do some planning to mitigate against the harsh effects, and let me just share with you some of the things that we would have done. We have a very aggressive groundwater development program across Tobago, because let me just back up and say that we do about 12 million gallons of water per day, and it's about a 50-50 split between surface sources, Courland, Richmond, Kingsby, and groundwater, which are wells that are located across the length and breadth of the island. The groundwater systems supplies have shown to be more robust in their resilience against the dry season, the effects of the dry season. The surface sources, however, and they continue to be a challenge as the dry season progresses. So in our planning process, what we are doing, we have embarked on a wells development program where we are aggressively investigating and drilling new wells to ensure that during the dry season months, we are able to sustainably provide a supply to mitigate against the climatic changes and the need as it arises and it increases from dry season to dry season, year to year.
Right, and the current water reservoirs that we have, some of them are way past below 50% of its usual water availability. Talk to us about the different water supply treatment plants throughout the island and their capacity, the true reason for the low water supply throughout the island.
All right. Hillsborough Dam in Mount St. George is our biggest impounding reservoir. It has a carrying capacity of around 250 million imperial gallons impounded in that reservoir. The requirement in our management plan, the requirement is that at the start of the dry season, at the end of the rainy season, January 1, we attempt to ensure that all the reservoirs are filled and the abstraction is managed to allow us to get to the end of the dry season with reserves to last us through. Right? So the management begins from day one. The challenge that we have had is that the dry season, the days have been hotter than they usually are. The nights have been hotter than they usually are. So that the increased evapotranspiration associated with that, and let me say this, we have some aging infrastructure which presents us with a leakage problem, which we are aggressively working on to change, one, to eradicate leaks and bursts, and to change out aged and decrepit infrastructure, ensure that we have the availability, we can get the water from the source to the customer. Mm-hmm. So I was saying the Hillsborough Dam, at this point, we are 40% filled. The long-term, we're way below the long-term average. The good news with our sources in Tobago is that in one day of good rain, a lot can change. We have another small impounding reservoir at Kingsby. That we are also suffering the adverse effects of the unavailability by virtue of the extended dry season there. So the customers in that area are also suffering. The surface sources, the two major surface sources that we have are the Courland River and the Richmond River. Courland supplies Southwest Tobago from Plymouth all the way to Crown Point. Right, so allow me to chat about Courland first. It is very strategically important for a number of reasons. The first is that it supports one of the highest population dense areas in Tobago. That whole strip from Plymouth, Blackrock, all the way down to Crown Point. Its importance is highlighted by the fact that it's also a tourism belt. We also have a lot of critical infrastructure, the airport, a number of schools, hospitals, hotels. We do 1.5 million gallons of the Corland water treatment plant on a daily basis. We are down to 1,500 and 2,000. It is really bad. Our ability to meet and treat with the challenges that we have, let me just backtrack and say this to you, have been assisted by, as I started by talking about our aggressive wells development program, we have, through the Ministry of Public Utilities and the Minister, the Honorable Marvin Gonzalez, we have developed a number of well sources. Well, we have a well in the Battle area. We have 3 wells. We have equipped one, and we are in the process of equipping 2 more. They have contributed to allowing us to not be as far down as if we didn't have them. Additionally, the development program last year, you would remember, we'd have done 7.6 kilometer transmission line from Signal Hill to Crown Point, which connects the well fields. You know, we have wells along the highway, Bishop's High School, Culler Hall, Bacalet, Government Farm. It allows us to connect this supply into the Crown Point area to provide relief from this side. We had some challenges during the late part of the dry season, in that when we attempted to utilize the line was adjacent to the highway that is being developed to Crown Point, and the line was damaged. So we suffered a little setback by virtue of it being damaged in the works that were happening along in the development of the road. We have since gone in, we have repaired it, and I would just like to say, before I say, I'd like to say thank you to the team that worked tirelessly to get it repaired in 5 days. But more importantly, the need and request for chalkboard in the Crown Point area, from the commissioning and beginning of operation of the line, they have fallen away from an average of 32 requests for chalkboard per day. We're down to 2. Right? I mean, facts don't lie. And it is important, and this speaks to the organization's attempt to plan and operationalize projects, programs, and projects to ensure that we can meet the ever-increasing demand for the supply across all climatic and regular and anomalies, to ensure that we can deliver.
Right, but although the Crown Point Western area is a highly population dense area, you have the rural areas that are really, really suffering. And we have the people up in the north side, as well as Charlottesville, that tend to suffer the most because they are on the higher points of the island, right? And so even when the water levels are low, a lot of the times, they even though the water is there, they can't get it because they're so high up that the water isn't pumping up to meet them. So these are the places that we have a higher demand for the truck-borne water supply. But we also know that the trucks are so big that sometimes it's difficult for them to get up to those places. So what are some of the strategies to mitigate against that?
Thank you so much for bringing me to that point, Ms. Felix. The challenge that we have, you did a very good job in articulating what the challenges are. And again, let me start at the top. The areas in East Tobago, Charlottesville, Speyside, Delaford, they are limited in our ability to provide an alternate source of supply. And you are correct. In attempting to mitigate and to plan with a view to sustainable development and operations in the future, especially in times like now, we have earmarked a number of projects to speak to that. There are plans for a desalination plant in Charlottesville that are on the drawing board that will allow for us to bring a continuous, sustainable year-round supply to Charlottesville. There are also plans that that we're still working on for other areas, Speyside and those areas that don't have an alternate supply. We are also in the process of investigating the installation of similar plants. The Charlottesville plant is scheduled to be installed by the end of this calendar year, so that by the start of the dry season next year, we will have an alternate supply for Charlottesville. There is also, we're talking about projects, there is the Goldsboro water, there's a water treatment plant being constructed at Goldsboro to provide an additional 2 million gallons of water off the Goldsboro River, which is one of our more robust and sustainable rivers year-round. That will also aid in bringing relief to the people in the Tobago East. So there are, while I would have started with Crown Point, thank you for bringing me back into focus, there are plans for improvements across Tobago. Right? So as it relates to the Tobago East, the Charlottesville desalination plant is carried to start this year, and the Goldsboro water treatment plant is also carried to start and be completed within this calendar year, so which will put us at in a very good place as we approach the oncoming 2025 dry season.
Right, and for those persons who do not understand what desalination is, that has to do with treating seawater, right? Give us a little bit of understanding the background of that one.
All right. Desalination is the process where you utilize seawater and convert it into potable water. It is a growth environment in this moment because traditionally there have been a lot of challenges associated with the process of desalination. For example, in the early days, the desalination takes salt water, you take fresh water out of it, and the concentrated salt water that remains is the byproduct. In the past, ecosystems were damaged by virtue of this brine is normally discharged out into the ocean.
Oh, but the excess salt.
Right, that is a highly concentrated, that is brine now. And one of the challenges that came with the desalination back in those days is that the salt normally would damage if it makes its way back onto the coastline, would damage those aquatic ecosystems. Added to which, because the technology was relatively new, the cost to install and maintain was much higher. We are in a place now where the technology has gotten cheaper and more efficient. As an example, in our investigation for the desalination in Charlottesville, what we're looking at is utilizing saltwater wells, where we drill a well down into the saltwater layer underground, we abstract from there, and on the same premises, in the same vicinity, we drill another well, a deeper well, and we discharge the concentrated brine back into the saltwater underground water table. What that also does, one of the challenges that desalination has, especially in the Caribbean region, is combating the new threat of the sargassum that floats in every so often without warning and wreaks havoc on our coastal or beaches and the other coastal landscapes. It also affects the desalination plants across the region because those plants have an intake that is out in the open water. So the sargassum normally comes in and gets into their intake mechanism and prevents the plant from operating as it should. The challenge, the process that we are looking at for the installation in Charlottesville and wherever else in Tobago is it's immune to that by virtue of the fact that the abstraction for the desalination process could be coming from down in the salt water. So there is a certain reliability that is associated with the way we now plan to operate, because you have to also bear in mind, right, that while Charlottesville and the other areas where we are looking at doing the desalination require a reliable, consistent, stable supply year-round, we are also a tourist environment, and we also have a lot of people who depend on these beaches and the waters surrounding them for their livelihood, fishing and the other things. So you have to ensure that what we do is in keeping with the need to be as environmentally sustainable, as possible.
Right, but even as we wait for the development of the desalination plant in Charlottesville, we're talking present day. What are we doing as of today to help relieve the situation within that Charlottesville Speyside, Northside area because of the limitations in offering the the truck-borne water supply?
All right, let me tell you what we have done. You started by speaking to the size of the trucks that we have and the inability to maneuver the roads and the hillsides up in the country, and that is correct. What we have done in order to offset that is that we have increased the fleet of water trucks that we have, utilizing the smaller 1,000 gallons and 1,200 gallons, provided and procured locally from small business entities across the Tobago environment to ensure. So we have increased the fleet, and we have smaller trucks that now can speak to the maneuvering into and around these areas to ensure that we get a supply to these people. And we have also partnered with the fire services. We have adjusted the schedules to these areas to reflect what we can deliver. And we are partnering with the fire services in those areas we have identified. For example, in Luciville, the high point customers. And what we do, we truck to the high point customers at the start of the schedule, and we operate the schedule so that the need for holding the schedule as long as we would have normally to feed these customers is eliminated. And at the end of the schedule, those customers who didn't get, we try to truck them off. So the one solution that you have at our disposal in this moment is the water trucking. And to speak to the efficiency and effectiveness of the process, we have engaged smaller trucks, higher numbers. We have spoken to the fire services whose appliances and the hoses and things are better equipped in some instances to get to some of these customers, because some of them are like some eagles live to the top of some hills. Notwithstanding, you have a requirement once you have a connection to provide them with a supply. So that is where we are as it relates to bringing relief to the people in Tobago East.
Right. And we're going to take a break. But before we get into the break, one of the questions that I have is, does WASA plan to ever initiate a grant that assists with individuals buying pumps? Because, I mean, a pump is an addition. It's not a requirement when it comes to residential water supply. So if persons now, because of the water supply situation, are forced into buying pumps for their homes, is there any plans, or are there any plans in the future to initiate maybe a grant to assist homes in purchasing a pump?
Let me see this. The Water and Sewage Authority is very heavily invested in ensuring that we are able to meet our mandate as it relates to providing the customer base in Tobago and wider Trinidad and Tobago with a potable supply. The access to potable water has been deemed a fundamental human right. In this moment, there are national programs where there are government subventions for water tanks, making water tanks available. I do believe we have access to that program here. And we are, by all means, willing to be part of any discussion, including the one that you mentioned as it relates to the water pumps, that would speak to our efficient, increased ability to provide a supply to any and all customers, independent of the geographical location, right? And even the financial standing, because there are programs that speak to providing a water supply to people who might be financially disaffected and are unable to buy one by virtue of one way or the other, right? We have, as an example, we have the Community Water Investment Program, another initiative of the Honorable Minister and the Ministry, where we look at areas that have challenges in receiving a supply, and we are doing programs and projects to ensure that we improve the level of service that we provide to them. For example, right in Tobago, the top of French Fort wasn't getting water all the time. We installed some boosters. French Fort getting water almost all the time now. In Pine Hill in Palativier, they used to get water in the night now and then. We have installed a booster under the same Community Water Improvement Program. And they get water all the time. As they call me to say, listen, the line busting up here, and you have some people living higher up who are outside of the area. So you are now in the process of installing some means, because they didn't see the need to. People they were using rainwater harvesting and those other things up in the forest because the water couldn't reach. So we're now in the process of extending the infrastructure to ensure that these people can receive the benefit of all the infrastructural upgrades we're providing to bring the service to their doorstep and to their water tanks and to their pumps.
All right. Well, we're going to take a quick break right here, and we're going to be back right after this.
It's a brand new morning, rise up to a brand new dawning as the passion start to rise.
Sun Up Tobago is here. Join us on Saturday, July 6th from 2 p.m. to 10 p.m. at Delta Compound Argyle for an unforgettable summer experience. Enjoy an all-inclusive experience with mouth-watering food, coolers are allowed, and best island vibe. This is a tickets-only event. Get your tickets now at Barco, Lust, and Pablo's Argyle. Don't miss out on the event of the summer. Sun Up Tobago, sponsored by Tobago Updates, B-Mobile, State Solutions, and Thorns Place.
Look at people in here tonight.
Tobago, the date has been set. Saturday, June 22nd, we head to the Jade Monkey once again for the launch of their 2024 Jufi and Mass Band presentation for Tobago Carnival. On Saturday, June 22nd, we gather at the Jade Monkey to get a glimpse of the Jade Monkey Mass presentation for 2024, the Tobago Festival, and also the launch of the Jade Monkey Jufi, Monkey See, Monkey Do.
I come from the Twin Island.
Get ready for another year of Tobago Carnival with the best band in Tobago, Jade Monkey Mass and the Jade Monkey Jufi. So come out on June 22nd as we launch Monkey See, Monkey Do Jufi, and for Tobago Mass, the Tobago Festival's presentation, brought to you by the Jade Monkey. This one powered by Carib, Digicel, and Next 99.1 FM, a member of the TTT Limited Media Network. Jade Monkey.
Go down in the center, go down. It's a brand new morning, rise up to a brand new dawning as the passion start to rise. The energy fill the skies. I say thanks a favor to wake up and...
Welcome back to Good Morning Tobago. We continue our conversations with Mr. Brian Williams, who is the head of WASA here in Tobago. And as we continue the conversation, we're talking about the roadways and the infrastructure. The last time you were here with Minister Gonzalez, and you guys were discussing the state of the roads in Tobago. Now, he would have expressed that he was totally dissatisfied with the state of the roads and promised to fund WASA in a way that would allow you guys to help with recovering or resurfacing a number of the roads that you disrupt while you try to fix a number of those lines along the roadway. So what is the status of that financial investment that he promised Tobago?
All right. Ms. Felix, I'd just like to start by saying, from the time the Honorable Minister was here till now, we have spent $5 million on road restoration in Tobago. $5 million. He had committed to providing and ensuring that funding was available to effective road restoration activities, and it left us with a requirement to put the systems, procedures, and processes in place to ensure that this can be done. We have an onboard contractor, and if I may say so, I am pleased with the operation. It is very structured, it is very effective, it's very efficient. How we try to approach it is that we target an area, we go into Mount Pleasant, and everything that has been disturbed in Mount Pleasant, we go in and we deal with it. To ensure the added effectiveness and efficiency of the process, if during the process that another leak spring up in the area, we deploy the teams to ensure that all the leaks are repaired so that when the contractor leaves an area, right, we have full coverage, right? The funding continues to come, the contractor continues to work, and our image as it relates to the damage that we effect to the roadways that is left at the mercy of the THA and the unsuspecting public who have to use these roads every day, we work at it and we are heading in the right direction based on the evidence and by feel based as a driver who on the road all the time.
Right. And are there any collaborations happening between WASA's resurfacing project and what is happening at the Division of Infrastructures, Quarries and Urban Development?
At this point, I would like to say no, but I want to also I want to add that we are always available for any/all collaborative efforts and activities that, in my mind, redound to the benefit of Tobago. Right? For example, the challenges we had in Southwest as it relates to our inability and the pipe that was damaged. Had we known earlier that it was damaged, we would have been able to put the repair effort in place much faster and prevent the extended period for which the extremities, component, and environs were suffering. I would like us to work more collaboratively, and I welcome it. And as soon as it can happen, I do welcome it. I think that is best about
So has the conversation been happening? Because I know that previously there was an MOU that was in the works between WASA and the THA to collaborate on how road resurfacing would be done moving forward.
The conversations have not been happening at this point on the front end. But what I can see is that in the unofficial deliberations that I've been having with different people at the governing level in Tobago, it has been raised. And as it relates to the MOU, the fact that while the MOU has not been acted upon or refreshed or revitalized, the road restoration drive continues at pace as was promised by the Honorable Minister when he came here. And as I said before, to date, from his last visit when he made the commitment to now, we have spent $5 million. And as a user of the road, and I'm sure the visiting, they might not even know it's WASA that doing all this work here because they're just realizing that the thing's patching. I had no problems in not knowing that we are fixing it. But the point is we are aggressively involved in repairing the roads post-haste once the leaks have been repaired, right? I should also mention, you didn't ask me about it, but I think it is also important that I mention that at this point, we are on a very aggressive leak repair drive, and our leaks in this moment have gone down from 70s and 80s and 90s. We are in the 30s. And by the end of the week, we are expected to be in the 20s. Now, having said that, it's important that I let you know that leak repair is a dynamic activity because they always have leaks and bursts, especially in a scheduled environment, as we are now attempting to shift around a little bit of the resource that we presently have to meet and treat the needs of the entire Tobago. But we are working aggressively to ensure that all the things that speak to providing a service and improving our corporate image and the general public feel for WASA, that we are working to ensure that we put it in the right place.
Right, and the world is moving ahead speedily. We see AI technology and a number of technologies that continue to pop up in all sectors. What has WASA Tobago been doing to be a part of that global technological drive towards providing services at a higher level?
All right, I am glad that you asked that. In terms of this technological revolution that is happening globally, we have not allowed ourselves to be left behind. We are heavily involved in remote operations and SCADA. SCADA is supervisory data, the supervisor control and data acquisition, where at the location, especially the new projects that we are embarking upon, we are putting instrumentation in so that we can, in real time, monitor the operations, right, of these stations. And in addition to that, we have also embarked on, we are in the process of rolling out the installation of automated actuation valves where we can sit in a control center and based on the need that we would have identified in real time from this SCADA infrastructure that we put in, we can operate a valve, we could press a button and close a valve. So we are very much involved in the technology. We are, in short order, about to start a rollout of customer cadastre in Tobago where we will have people on the ground going out and digitizing accounts and locations and meters where when a concern is raised, you can pull up a screen and say, oh, this is Miss Felix, this is exactly where she lives. This is the challenge that she's having because the meter is saying that she has not been having water and there's water in the area. So maybe there's a choke on a line, please check it. These are some of the things that we are working on a day-to-day basis, even closer to home, is that in the next week or two, we are embarking upon a system where the people who go out in the field, the technical officers who are responsible for verification of leaks, will be given tablets. And they will have the responsibility of, because normally the challenge you have with leaks, I will see a leak here, and I will say the leak by the lamppost in Lambo. Miss Felix will call in and say, a leak next to the fire hydrant. A third person goes past and says a leak by the blue gate, when in truth and in fact it's the same leak. What that has done over the years is that you have duplication and triplication and multiplication of sometimes the same report, which we had sometimes. So the data that you have sometimes is not a true reflection of what is. What this process does is that it allows, once you geotag it, so the identifier geotags the leak and it goes onto a system. That begins the whole process of tracking from being a leak to being repaired up to the point of road restoration. So we are very heavily invested in technology, and technology from not just on the back end in terms of collecting data, but on the front end from the standpoint of using technology to make our work more reliable, easier, more real time. So we are, from a monitoring standpoint, the people out on the road, when the turncock's operating a valve now, we now have, they also will be given tablets to say, okay, this particular valve, when they turn it, they log it, valve fully opened. So the system, right, so that is recorded. And all of this data is being brought to a central point, and, excuse me, and one of the ultimate expected outputs is that we will generate an entire transmission distribution map that can be monitored and operated and dealt with in real time, based on the fact that we can have information coming to us in real time. So we are very heavily invested in technology.
Right. And when it comes to overall collaboration with the THA to ensure that Tobago is fully supplied and all the needs are met, you guys currently do have a relationship with the Division of Settlements and Public Utilities.
Yeah, we do have a relationship, and like with all relationships, at times it needs work. And I do agree. I would be the first to say that it can be better, but you're open to counseling and all the other things. The interactive requirements of any healthy relationship, we are open to it.
Excellent. And one of the things that continue to come up in regards to allowing for sustainable water supply is the meterization of water supply to individual households. Is that something that is planned for the future? And how is that going to be done in regards to the rates that we currently pay for water?
All right. As it relates to metering, there is, as we speak, an exercise, a metering exercise that is targeting commercial customers at this point, where we're installing meters for commercial. That is an ongoing program, and this is the flagship, the pilot. It starts. All the other programs will follow, because yes, the organization is heading towards metering so that we can speak to consumption. One of the benefits of metering, for me, that is maybe an intangible, is that it gives us some autonomy and some access in an area that we generally don't have. As WASA, our responsibility ends at the boundary to the customer's property. And because now customers, domestic customers especially, are billed not by consumption, but by a number of different parameters, annually, the value of property, a number of different things. Consumption is not tied. What you have to pay is not consumption, is not tied to consumption. A meter in my mind will change that, because the consequence of that is this: because you're not paying for what you use, you have people's tanks overflowing, they're not worried about it. Right? Now, for me and for us as WASA, there are a number of negatives associated with our ability to do a job when you have tanks overflowing. For example, when John's tank at this point is overflowing and he lives at the bottom of the hill, it prevents the people at the top of the hill from being able to get the supply that they have to get because the pressures can't develop sufficiently for the water to reach up the hill, as an example. When metering, with the advent of metering and paying by usage, people will now start to pay attention to these things. Right? So it is a benefit. And the thing about metering from an organizational and a planning perspective is that when you meter everybody, you have a real identification of what the usage is. Because even though, even though in all the planning processes, the figures that are used in planning to decide on, let's say you have a development, and the figures 583 liters, those are estimated figures that have traditionally been there. Having a meter, you will now be able to speak to the process with some more accuracy. For example, you have an area and you have a development, you can use a meter and say, listen, people in this area generally use 200 liters of water as opposed to the 5. So in our planning process, we know that we have to cater for the 70 households by the 200. So it helps in the planning process, and it helps is a management tool in providing information for large-scale planning. We producing 12 million gallons. When you add up everybody meter, people gain 9 million gallons, so we have a 3 million gallon deficit somewhere outside the day. We have to fix it. So metering, as far as I am concerned, is important, is an important tool in the development and the improvement of the organization's effectiveness and efficiencies in meeting the mandates.
Right, I guess as well as the profitability of WASA, which has been in question for a very long time.
Well, the thing about profitability is, profitability, yes, from the standpoint of being more effective and efficient in having the resource. But in terms of speaking to changes in our rate, those processes are driven by the RIC, who would now be the Regulated Industries Commission, so you would have the organization would have to make a case, and they would have to satisfy a number of preset criteria before that discussion can happen. So yes, ultimately it will, but as far as a rate increase goes, it's not up to us to say, listen, we're going to increase the rate tomorrow.
All right. Okay, we're going to take a quick break right here, and we will be back right after this.
Wow.
The countdown is on to the Tobago Public Service Day Expo 2024. Join us on July 5th at the Shore Park Complex to discover the dynamic world of public service where innovation meets dedication. Explore exciting careers, experience innovative services, enjoy interactive displays, and a whole lot more. Come join us on July 5th at the Shore Park Complex from 9:30 a.m. Visit the Office of the Chief Secretary's Facebook page for details. Tobago Public Service Day Expo 2024. Public service now and beyond.
Deltec Distributors Weekend Special. Wings Friday, 3 pounds wings, 2.5 kilogram fries. Special 100 TT. Soup Saturday, 2 pounds cube beef, 2 pounds cow heel, 2 pounds chicken foot, 2 pounds pigtail, or smoked bone. Special $150. Super Sunday, 3 pounds leg and thigh chicken, 3 pounds sliced pork, 3 pounds lamb slice, 3 pounds cheese, 2 pack of pasta. Special $250. Located Main Road, Argyle, Tobago. We deliver 20 TT. Contact us on deltecdistributors.com 395-5040 or 237-0102. Deltec Distributors Weekend Special.
Good morning and welcome back to Good Morning Tobago. I continue to have my conversation this morning with Mr. Brian Williams, who is the head of WASA here in Tobago. And as we wrap up our conversation this morning, we're talking about community outreach and community engagement and the ability of WASA to let you know whenever there's going to be a shortage in your water supply. So not only is there an issue with the water supply, but we want to ensure that persons know or are aware of whenever there is a shortage in their water supply. So what has WASA been doing to ensure that they continue that ongoing community engagement?
All right. Thank you again, Ms. Felix. We have a very active outreach in each platform. We have a customer service center. We are in the process of doing some optimization works to ensure that our ability for the customer's ability to reach us and for us to respond in as real time as possible is optimized. So we are in the process of speaking to that. We have social media, we have a Facebook, we have a WhatsApp chat. All the information is available on our WASA website. And there are interactions between people who in the community and the representatives, senior people in the community, and our corporate communications department in Tobago, which is led by Miss Giselle Webster, our manager, regional manager as it relates to those operations. So there is a healthy and interactive and ongoing interaction with members of the public, and I want to take this opportunity to urge people, the wider Tobago, to let us know what is happening. Let us know what you feel when you feel it, because it is only by you holding our feet to the fire that we can do better. And I do appreciate, and we do appreciate, any and all attempts, efforts to communicate on any subject, no matter how cool. I am always open for any discussions as it relates to providing you, us, anybody with any kind of response that they need as it relates to the Water and Sewage Authority's operations in Tobago. I want to just close that by the question by saying that we are in the process as it relates to community activities that Ms. Felix would have asked me about. We are in the process of starting a rainwater harvesting program at schools across Tobago and the wider Trinidad and Tobago. And for this to happen, it will require a certain amount of collaboration with the schools, 2, engagement of the local contractors, and a number of different things that all speak to communication with a view to improving the delivery of the service and the quality of life at Tobago and Tobagonians. So we are very heavily involved and invested in community and in people. Hope that answers your question.
It does. And finally, as we close off our conversation here this morning, what about education campaigns to educate the public on water conservation? Are you guys willing to collaborate with the THA in order to offer an island-wide education campaign on ways that individuals can sustainably use the water on an individual level?
Yes, thank you for that question, Ms. Felix. I cannot say it enough. I welcome any and all interactions with any arm of the Tobago House of Assembly which are aimed at and geared towards improving the quality of the lives of us as Tobagonians. So any/all programs, any interventions that are in the idea stages that you feel we need to discuss, any department, we are open, we are available, and we are very willing to be part of the discussion and the associated works to make whatever the ideas are a reality.
Excellent. All right, guys. Well, this is where we end off our conversation this morning. We want to thank you for joining us. Thank you for liking, sharing, and adding your comments. And thank you for doing all that you have been doing to make Tobago Updates the #1 broadcaster here on the island of Tobago. Again, we want to say thank you to the team over at WASA, as well as Mr. Brian Williams for sharing their time with us this morning. Guys, we want to thank you and say have a great day.
It's a brand new morning, rise up to a brand new dawning. As the passion start to rise, the energy fill the skies. I say
You're viewing Tobago Updates Television, your exclusive gateway to Tobago.